just a couple of evenings ago, I stumbled across this rather fun little video called How to Cure a Fanboy by a user by the name of Tech Altair. At least I think that's how you pronounce his name. And in it, what he did was, he said, I have particular tech preferences, we all have particular tech preferences. But as soon as you express a liking for one tech preference or another, not only will you get slammed for it, but even if you talk evenly about a number of tech products from a number of tech companies, in the comments section below, you'll be called a fanboy for all of the above, even within the same video. You can even do a video about a particular tech project where you're just talking about it from a neutral standpoint and still get called a fanboy one way or the other. You seriously just cannot win. So what he proposed was basically to make a video regarding pretty much anything you like, really. His video, however, was on Microsoft, Apple and Google, and speaking upon their products, so like Google phones, Apple phones and Microsoft phones, and of course their computer equipment and so on and so on. There's a broad spectrum of those companies as electronic providers. And he invited others in the YouTube community to either comment below and give examples for what they love, or do as I'm doing now and make a video of in rebuttal to what he said, or even doing along with what he said. And I kind of like this idea, so I decided, well, I make videos, it's a perfect opportunity. And we in the gaming sphere certainly have more than our fair share of rabid fanboys. So I thought, there we go then, let's do this. So obviously we need to take the big three, don't we? We need to take Nintendo, we need to take Microsoft, and we need to take Sony. So basically what I need to do is I need to obviously expand upon two good things that each company does right. And then I have to take two things that each company does wrong, in my eyes. Therefore, being even-handed to each company, saying they both do poo things and they both do yay things. Simple enough concept. And as you know, I do try my best to be neutral, even though, yeah, here I am in a PlayStation t-shirt, but I personally see the worth to the other two game providers, you know. I've got no problem with Microsoft, I've got no problem with Nintendo. So, if you allow me, I shall begin. I'll probably begin with the company I have the least experience with, even though they've been around the longest, which is Nintendo. Now, two good things about Nintendo, let's see. Well, one, they have a strong sense of innovation. They very much like march to the beat of their own drum. A lot of the things that have happened in gaming would not have happened without Nintendo. The D-pad, for instance. You know, without Nintendo, no D-pad. And, you know, Nintendo kind of have given us lots of really clever, nifty ideas. And they brought about different sorts of properties that have made us think differently about gaming. You know what I mean? Second screen experiences, you know, all kinds of things. But they've always been pushing the envelope of what you can do with a games machine. Maybe not in power always, apart from like the SNES days. The SNES days was power because we're fighting against Sega. But in recent years, it's been more about invention and creativity. And I suppose the other thing about Nintendo that's good is they stick to their roots. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, Nintendo only ever do this, or Nintendo only ever do that. But they're very much, you know, like Descartes said, you know, to thine own self be true. And that is one area you definitely have to give Nintendo props, is they know who they are, they know what they want to do, and they go out and they do it. And you have to, you know, tip your hat to that, because there's a lot of a lot of industry speculators to say Nintendo are doing it wrong. They're being far too Japanese, or they're being far too this or far too that, and they need to modernise and they need to evolve. And as we were saying in a podcast last night, Nintendo evolve in their own way, just not the way you're expecting. Okay, Microsoft. So, what do Microsoft do well? Well, Microsoft, what they do well is they're a software company first and foremost. That is where they started. So when it comes to making a machine work inside, you know, at the programming level, they have really got that sorted out. I mean, that's the reason why, you know, basically speaking, apart from the Dreamcast, it was Microsoft that really got the online gaming ball rolling. You know, the Dreamcast may have had it, but when it came to it, the OG Xbox, wow. It's like, it just totally did it. And when it came to the 360, the ecosystem that Microsoft had set up for the 360 over what Sony had set up for the PlayStation, you know, there was no competition. It was a superior online network. What else do Microsoft do well? If there's one thing Microsoft do well, it's make you notice their products. You know, they're really good at marketing. I mean, there's always very clear, very focused adverts. You know when it's a Microsoft product. You know. And of course, one of the great things in Microsoft products is this thing of it can always be that little bit better. I mean, look at the Pro controller. You know, it's expensive, but what a piece of kit. I mean, that little gamepad is properly awesome. And if I ever do get round to owning an Xbox One, which I would like to do, I would very much like to have one of those pads. Now, what do Sony do well? So, well, let's see, where am I going to start? I would say what Sony do really well is connecting with the customer base. I mean, Sony saw that they went wrong, and they went, right, okay, we've been talking to our heads, we've been acting like complete numpties, we need to completely switch around all our stuff. And they did. They saw where they were making an arse of it, and they flipped it, you know. And the other great thing that I think Sony do in their talking to the customer base is how they conduct themselves when it comes to press conferences. I mean, look at the last couple of E3s and look at PSX. The way that they talk to the customer, the gamer, is absolutely brilliant. You can't not love the way they do that, because they get right down on our level and talk to us, you know. And yeah, and of course the other thing that Sony I think do really well is trying to give us new ways to play, whether it be the Vita, it be PlayStation Now, it be the PlayStation VR, it would be, you know, there's even a pad you can buy, right, for the PlayStation, which has like a wrist strap on it, and it's half a gamepad and the other half is a wire that leads down to a mouse. Now, almost nobody knows this exists, but Sony okie dokie this. I think they even put a bit of R&D into it. I mean, it's a separate company that has it. So they're always trying things. They're always, you know, going, what can we do to make it better for the player? You know? I mean, they're always trying to push the envelope of what they can do for the player. Now, if we shall, we'll take the negative side. So, the negatives of Nintendo. Well, the negatives of Nintendo is kind of a bit like one of their positives. Yes, they know who they are and they know what they want to do, but sometimes they are so pig-headed that it makes a lot of the average gaming audience scratch their head at, why can't Nintendo just do this thing right in quite a number of areas? And it's a shame, because Nintendo has history, they have development money, they have reputation, but there are times where they just do things and you're going, why? And of course the other thing that makes Nintendo not so good is how they so far have run their online capacity. They just don't seem to understand online, and with the recent developments of what they seem to be doing with the Nintendo Switch, and you know, you'll get a game every month but only for a month, and the fact that if you want to go online you'll now have to buy an extra bit of kit to make your Switch go online. It's like, what? So yeah, online Nintendo, not good. Right then, so what are the bad points of Microsoft? Bad points of Microsoft, let's see. Well, obviously, they're not very good when it comes to understanding exactly what the gamer is after. I mean, when we all remember how the Xbox One launched. Now, Microsoft have done a lot to address that, and that is a given. You can't take that away from them. They have done a lot to address those initial issues. But sometimes they miss what the customer, what the gamer really, really wants. And that is a shame. And of course the price of their equipment is always going to be an issue. You know, Microsoft as a whole, as a company, always does the most expensive stuff, and having overly complicated stuff, I mean, consider that, yes, okay, it's necessary that it has two operating systems in the same box, but there surely could have been a more elegant solution. And of course, you know, we all know about Kinect. So yes, Microsoft and the way they handle their equipment is not great. Now Sony, what do they do wrong? Well, they do a number of things wrong. But most of all, I would say, let us change our PSN names. And I think sometimes stop like over-promising games. You know, it's like they always fire new stuff out before the old stuff's even before the stuff's even ready. It's like, you know, stop jumping the gun, Sony. That is a big thing you do. You jump the gun, you give us expectations, and then you can't follow through in the expectations. Whew, well, that was a list and a half. Right, I'm gonna continue on with the rest of my day because I've spent far too long doing this video. You too can also join the video that the guy put in. I'll put a link down below so you can see that. And yeah, as always, rate, favourite, comment, share, subscribe. And aye, no bother.